y'all, this is a new year, so we're gonna start off the year right and we are going to be saving some money. I have $5 dinner ideas that I think you and your family are going to love. These are gonna be super cheap, and they're also going to be very family friendly, and the kids are going to love it. So let's go ahead and let's get started. The first thing we're going to get started on is honey garlic chicken, and we're going to be doing all of this in the crock pot. We're going to need 1/4 cup of soy sauce and then 1/3 cup of honey. We're going to just put this into just a small measuring cup. We're just going to stir all of these ingredients together. We're also going to need about 1/8 cup of this tomato paste. And then I just need about a tablespoon of sriracha sauce. I was struggling with this sauce. It was not coming out, but you just need a tablespoon of that. I also have 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. And then we're going to need 1 tablespoon of rice wine vinegar. All right, I also put in 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. And then I have 4 tablespoons of water that we're going to put in, and just go ahead and give that a good stir. And try not to stir so fast just because that honey and the liquids, you don't want it to spill over. So just very slowly until it has a nice thick sauce. In a medium crock pot, we're going to take 2 pounds of chicken breast, or you can do chicken thighs. Put that at the very bottom. Do make sure you lightly grease that. And then we're going to put that sauce right on top of our chicken. I went ahead and cooked that on a high heat for about 3 hours. You can definitely do a low heat for about 4 to 6 hours. And then after the time has elapsed, then we're going to go ahead and use our meat masher and just shred up that chicken. I love using a meat masher, that way I don't have to take it out of the crock pot and shred it with forks or any type of shredder. It just makes life a little bit simpler and you don't have as many dishes. All right, and then that is it. There should be quite a bit of sauce to this, and I like to put a lot of that sauce on my rice, but this is amazing with some rice and some broccoli. Definitely you don't need the broccoli, but I feel like it completes the meal. This meal is delicious and it's all under $5. So if you enjoy a good, fast and easy crockpot meal, this would be the meal for you. Up next is this ham and potato casserole. So we are going to need 2 pounds of potatoes. Doesn't really matter what type of potatoes. I use Yukon Golds in this video. I'm also going to do about 8 ounces of cubed ham. I just have this ham steak that I'm going to dice up into small bite-sized pieces. In a medium bowl, I'm going to go ahead and just put the potatoes and just leave the ham there for now. We're just going to add the ham, and then we're going to add in some seasonings to it. So I end up putting about a tablespoon of garlic powder. I know that seems like a lot of seasoning, and I was pretty concerned about it maybe being a little too salty or a little too garlicky, but it definitely works. It was delicious and it wasn't too salty at all. I also put in about 1/2 teaspoon of pepper and about 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then just give that a good stir to our 9x13 dish. I'm going to go ahead and lightly grease that. Do make sure that you grease it because it does have a tendency of sticking to the pan. And then we're just going to put our potatoes right into our pan, and then we're going to put in our ham, and don't make a mess like I do. Sometimes it just goes everywhere. And then I'm just going to make sure that that's nice and even. The ham is in there with a very even layer. To a medium saucepan, I have about 3 tablespoons of butter and then 1/2 of an onion that I went ahead and diced up. I'm also going to just let that get nice and tender, so saute that for about 5 minutes, and then we will add 3 tablespoons of flour to our mixture. I also have 1/4 cup of chicken broth that we're going to add, and just give that a good stir until everything is nice and thick. Next, I have 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, and then 1 cup of cheese that we're going to put into the saucepan, and we're just going to give that a good stir until the cheese has melted and it's a very thick consistency. We're going to take that mixture and we're just going to put that right on top of our ham and potatoes, and just want to make sure that that gets mixed through properly. So just take a couple minutes to get it mixed well so that it's nice and even all over your potatoes and ham. Do make sure that your oven is preheated to 375 degrees. Next, I wanted to go ahead and top that with some parsley. So I have about a tablespoon of parsley that I'm going to put right on top. And then, of course, we're going to add a little bit of cheese to save on some money. You don't have to add all the cheese. It does come out pretty cheesy, but we just like it that way. Go ahead and put this in the oven for 55 minutes. Yes, you need to cook this for about an hour, and you do need to put foil on top of it so the cheese doesn't end up getting burnt or anything like that. This is what it looks like when it's done. The potatoes are nice and tender. This is very, very delicious. I think the parsley just adds a wonderful flavor to it. This was so delicious. Me and the kids absolutely adored this meal. Up next is a very simple French toast pizza. I love doing this with like Clarence bread. It's an easy way to have pizza. It's a great way to have like a very fast lunch, especially when you have kids. So I ended up making this for my kids one day. They loved it. They actually really enjoy when I make it. They say it's even better than like frozen pizza. So I try to make this whenever I have the discount bread. So all you're going to do is take your French bread or your Italian bread, cut it in half, and then just put a little bit of some pizza sauce. I just use probably a quarter of that jar. The jar you can get from $1 to $2. And then I'm only going to put about a cup and a half of mozzarella cheese. Usually I do a cup to a cup and a half. It really just depends. And then I have this pepperoni. You can get the pepperoni for $1 to $2. You can get it cheaper if you go to Aldi. Or you can just have it just plain. My kids actually prefer just having cheese. At least my girls do. And then my boys kind of like the pepperoni. So that's why I did half and half. This is so easy to do. You could even add some more seasonings to it to make it taste a little bit better. Put this in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes and boom, you have lunch ready to go and your kids will thank you for it. When it comes to cheap and easy meals, salsa chicken is one of my go-tos. I always do this in the crock pot and it's so easy to do. You can do a little bit of chicken or a lot of chicken. It really is up to you and how many people you feed in your family. I did about 1.5 pounds, but I think a pound of chicken would be just about right. I also do my own seasonings, and that's what helps save a bunch of money as well. I know the seasoning packs are not that expensive, but we just try to go a little bit more on the healthy route as well. So we need about 1 ounce of taco seasoning. I need about 8 to 16 ounces of salsa, and then I did throw in a lime. I think the lime just adds so much flavor. I also add a little bit of cilantro at the end just because we had some on hand, but you definitely don't have to. Go ahead and cook this on a low heat for about 6 hours or a high heat for about 3. Use your meat masher and get all of that chicken nice and shredded. It will come out perfectly. Trust me, y'all. You don't really need a whole lot of salsa because it has so much salsa already in the mixture, but we added just a little bit of sour cream and some cheese on top, and we had some delicious salsa chicken burritos or tacos, however you want to call them. You can also do like the hard taco shells. I think those would be even cheaper and better. Or if you even wanted to throw some rice with this meal, I think that would be delicious as well. All right, for this last one, we're going to do some sausage and rice. I have 1 green bell pepper and then 1 smoked sausage. This was actually the last one I could find in the stores. It was crazy. Things were just crazy that day. So I only found this kielbasa sausage. I was looking for smoked sausage, but you know, they all taste the same to me. And a large skillet, I just had about 2 tablespoons of bacon grease, and I just went ahead and melted that. And I'm just gonna cook up the sausage and green bell peppers. Also, if you want to throw in an onion, go for it. I just didn't for this dish. I have about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic that I'm gonna put into the pot as well, and just let that cook for just a couple more minutes. Next, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of paprika, half a teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of thyme, 1/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, and then 1/4 of a teaspoon of onion powder. Also, just 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper, and then go ahead and give that a good stir. Next, we're going to add in 15 ounces of diced tomatoes. I love using petite diced tomatoes, especially for a dish like this. I have 1.5 cups of chicken broth and then 1 cup of rice. I love to use jasmine. It's just one of my favorite types of rice, but you can add in any type of long grain rice. Go ahead and put the lid on and let that cook. Don't touch it at all for about 20 minutes, and then go ahead and give it a good stir. It should be ready. It should be kind of sticky-ish. There really shouldn't be any juice. The rice is going to soak up all of that juice. Let me tell you guys, this is so good, and it is perfect just the way that it is. It is very filling and delicious. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoy. I hope that you love budget videos. I have tons planned for this month and for this year, so I hope that you enjoy. If you enjoy budget videos, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up. Consider subscribing below if you have not already. I love to have you here on my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.